Were you raised hearing phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, born poor, die poor, or perhaps the most important thing is your health? What you might not realize is that these weren't just harmless sayings. They were deep-seated codes, planted in your subconscious by people who loved you, but were, unknowingly, perpetuating an invisible cycle. The cycle of hereditary scarcity. And here is the most critical point of this message. There are hidden biblical verses, rarely spoken from the pulpits, that carry an astonishing power to reprogram this emotional and spiritual inheritance of lack. These verses act as gateways to shatter the patterns of hardship that have been passed down from one generation to the next. Very few people know these texts, even fewer talk about them. But today, you will discover 7 of these verses that most will never share with you. And the last one, as promised, is the most transformative of all. It holds the power to flip an internal switch, opening a completely different spiritual dimension where you finally understand. Poverty is not your destiny. It's part of a collective deception. Before we continue, let me ask you something. Do you feel that no matter how hard you try, something always seems to pull you back to square one? As if there's an invisible barrier, a ceiling, a limit. Well, you're not alone. Many people live in this prison, but can't see the chains because they were forged within the mind. Old programming, familial, emotional, and even spiritual. The good news? Inner chains can also be broken from the inside. And that's precisely what you'll learn here. Using principles of the law of attraction, yes, but with a foundation that many avoid, the teachings of the Bible. You're about to understand how true spirituality doesn't deny abundance, it fosters it. You'll see how God never intended for you to live trapped in want. More than that, you will feel that the time has come to break free from this invisible chain that may have been affecting your family for generations. But make no mistake, this isn't just another video. It's more like a calling, a reunion with a truth that has always been there but was hidden by fear, ignorance, or misinterpretation of the scriptures. And as you engage with this message, you'll feel something shift within you. Because this isn't just about information, it's about transformation. And as you're listening, if anything resonates with you, a sentence, a revelation, a verse, take a moment to like this video. This helps the content reach more people who also need to break free from this inheritance of scarcity. If you feel this message was meant for you, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because here we don't do superficial faith. We dive deep, to the point where the spiritual meets the practical, where faith becomes reality. And since we're talking about turning words into real experience, I want to remind you that there's special content that can complement everything you'll hear. It's in the first pinned comment. There you'll find a powerful key to manifestation, something that can accelerate the entire process you're about to begin. If it feels right, check it out later. Just remember, this message will open doors, but you are the one who has to walk through them. Now, take a deep breath, look inward, and prepare yourself. Because the journey starting now isn't just about money. It's about liberation, reconnection, restoration. And at the very end, when I reveal the 7th verse, the one hardly anyone talks about, you might realize it's not just a word from the Bible. It's a mirror, a direct call to your soul, something that will make your heart beat differently, as if to say, this is it, this is what I needed. So stay with me until the end, and allow yourself to discover what truly belongs to you and always has, by divine right. Have you ever noticed how certain families seem to have a history of lack? As if it's a never-ending cycle? Grandparents who lived through struggles, parents who sacrificed yet still faced hardship, and now you, perhaps, repeating the same patterns, even while working twice as hard. This is not a coincidence, it's a program, a spiritual and emotional pattern that perpetuates itself generation after generation until someone, like you, decides to break the cycle. Hereditary poverty isn't just about numbers in a bank account or a salary at the end of the month. It's a spirit, a mentality, an invisible inheritance that operates behind the scenes of our decisions, fears, and deepest beliefs. And the worst part? It hides behind logic. It disguises itself as humility. It masks itself with phrases like, "Life is just hard," "It's not for everyone," or "Wealth is dangerous." But the truth is, you weren't born to survive. You were born to manifest. You are an extension of a creator who knows no scarcity, and even if you were taught to accept little, deep down, something has always whispered, "This isn't all there is. There is more." And there truly is. The Bible is filled with promises of abundance, but over time, many passages have been interpreted in a distorted way, blocking a deep understanding of what God truly wants for His children. The kingdom is not made of lack. It is made of fullness. Yet, most people were never taught to see these verses as tools for spiritual reprogramming. The first verse that begins this journey is like a key turning slowly, starting to unlock a door you might not have even known was locked inside you. For it is the Lord your God who gives you the ability to produce wealth. Deuteronomy 8:18. Did you read that carefully? It doesn't say He gives you wealth. It says He gives you the ability, the power, for you to acquire it. This means prosperity is a partnership between the divine and the human. God releases the potential, but you are the one who activates it. That's why your mindset matters. Your energy matters. Your faith matters. If you don't believe you can, you block the spiritual permission. The power is available, but you need to rise up and take possession of it. And this is where the law of attraction comes in. It's not about thinking positively and waiting for everything to fall from the sky. It's about alignment, vibration, conscious choice. And when you align your thoughts with the Word, your mind becomes a fertile ground for divine manifestation. It's not magic, it's applied spirituality, and that changes everything. Another verse that is rarely quoted yet holds a powerful revelation is in Proverbs 10:22. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth, and He adds no trouble to it. Do you understand what this means? It means that wealth from God is not a source of suffering, burden, or guilt. It is light. It is fluid. And what's more, it comes with peace. But how many times were you taught the opposite? How many times did you hear that money corrupts, that wealth distances you from God, that the more you have, the more problems arise? These beliefs sabotage your vibrational field. They create fear. They blame those who have, judge those who achieve, and push abundance away. But here is the truth. The blessing of the Lord makes you rich, period. The guilt is a human invention. The purpose is divine. Now you might be wondering, but if that's the case, why does it seem so hard to prosper? Why don't I see the results yet? The answer is in John 10:10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. This verse reveals a silent war, the conflict between the kingdom mindset and the limitation mindset. The thief here is not just an external character. It is also the scarcity mentality that steals your dreams, kills your faith, and destroys your possibilities. Every time you believe you can't, that you don't deserve, or that you aren't capable, you are allowing this thief to operate. But Jesus came to restore, to reconnect you to the source, and the source is abundant. The source is flow. The source is more than enough. However, to access this, it's not enough to know the verse. You must live it. And here comes a crucial point. True manifestation happens from the inside out. It's no use asking for wealth with a soul still programmed for scarcity. It's like trying to fill a cracked vase. You need to transform yourself first. You need to heal your mind, break the beliefs, reverse the codes. And that starts here, now. By the way, if you feel ready to start this manifestation process on another level, there's something special for you in the first pinned comment, a step beyond, a path of manifestation that complements what you're discovering here. If it's for you, you'll feel it. Returning to the verses, there is one that almost no one associates with prosperity, but it reveals one of the greatest secrets of manifestation in existence. It is in Matthew 6:33. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. What does it mean to seek the kingdom? It means aligning yourself with spiritual principles. It means living in a frequency of faith, gratitude, service, and consciousness. When you are vibrating in this state, what once seemed impossible begins to flow. You don't have to chase after everything with desperation. Things begin to be added to you. It's the effect of spiritual alignment. The universe responds to your vibration, and God responds to your faith. And perhaps now you're beginning to see what lies behind hereditary poverty: spiritual, emotional, and mental misalignment. Entire families disconnected from the source, repeating patterns, words, and attitudes that perpetuate lack without ever realizing it. But today, you can decide to stop this. You can be the generation that changes everything, the one that steps out of repetition and into creation. And if you've come this far, it's because something inside you is already ready for it. There's another less spoken verse that confirms the power of words in all of this. It's in Proverbs 18:21. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Your words create your reality. What have you been saying about money? About your life? About what you deserve? If your words are aligned with scarcity, that's what you attract. But if you start declaring abundance with faith, with conviction, with spiritual authority, your reality begins to obey. And now, prepare yourself, because the final verse is not just a promise, it is a divine sentence, a spiritual decree that can tear the veil of scarcity and reveal who you truly are. This is the verse that few have the courage to live by, but those who do are never the same again. 2 Corinthians 9:8. And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. Did you feel that? This is the original plan, to have all that you need, at all times, in all things, and still overflow. This is true abundance. This is full manifestation. And it is your right, not by human merit, but by divine identity. You were not born to repeat your family's poverty. You were born to be the turning point, the crack in the cycle, the seed of a new era, and that seed is already planted. Now, it's up to you. Having come this far, you are no longer the same person who pressed play on this video. Something inside you has changed. A veil has been lifted. And perhaps for the first time, you are feeling the presence of a truth that has always been with you, but was silenced by the noise of tradition, by the voice of scarcity, by the echo of past generations who only learned to survive. But now, it's different, because you have seen, you have felt, and you have chosen to listen. The verses revealed here are not just ancient texts, they are portals. They are living, pulsating words, full of creative energy. They are vibrating with the frequency of abundance, of freedom, of the true spiritual identity that God gave you, and which was never revoked, even if the world tried to convince you otherwise. Hereditary poverty is not a destination. It is a temporary state of unconsciousness, and you have awakened. Yes, scarcity has a scent, a sound, a memory. It settles into the most subtle gestures, in the way you react to seeing a price tag, in the guilt you feel when receiving money, in the fear of loss, in the discomfort of imagining yourself prosperous. All of these are inherited scars, emotional heirlooms, silent vows of loyalty to a pain that wasn't even yours, but that you carried anyway, out of love for those who raised you. But now you understand that you no longer need to repeat this. You do not honor your parents by staying trapped in the same traumas they faced. You honor them when you transform their pain into a bridge to freedom. When you prosper, you heal generations. You pave the way. You clear the ground for those who will come after. You show that it's possible. You become a living testimony that God still breaks chains. And that is why the last verse resonated so deeply. Because it doesn't just talk about you having what you need, it talks about overflowing. And that overflowing has a purpose: to impact the world. Do you know why? Because your prosperity is not just about you. It is about everyone who will be reached through it. People you don't even know yet. Places you will go. Causes you will support. Dreams you will activate in others just by having activated your own. This is true wealth. When you become a channel. When you live so aligned with the divine that your very life begins to bless others just by your example. And that is what awaits you on the other side of this decision. Yes, a decision. Because now you know. And knowing makes you responsible. There is no turning back. You have heard. You have understood. The Spirit has already spoken to you. Now, it's time to act. It's time to silence the voices of scarcity and start declaring the promises. It's time to cancel the invisible vows with limitation and make a covenant with abundance. It's time to let go of fear and start manifesting with courage. And if you feel you need an extra push, a path that is more direct, practical, and spiritual at the same time, check out the link in the first pinned comment. It was prepared with purpose for people like you who are ready to access the next level. This isn't about more information. It's about transformation. And if it's for you, it will call to your heart. Before we close, I want you to hold on to this. You are not a product of chance. You are an answer. You are the link that God is raising up to break cycles, open paths, and restore your family line. You are what your ancestors dreamed of, even without knowing how to put it into words. You are the generation of the new beginning, the bridge between what was and what can be. And if the world told you it wasn't possible, that it wasn't for you, that it was too difficult, this message is here to remind you. With God, everything changes. You just need to believe, to act, and to continue. If this message touched you, leave your like now. This isn't about numbers. It's about mission. It's about reaching more lives that also need to hear this truth. Subscribe to the channel, because here we will continue to deepen this journey. Every video, every revelation, every step. And share it with someone who needs it. You could be the channel God uses to set someone free. You can indeed live in abundance. And the good news is, it starts now.